Perfect.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Reaction Therapy. I am Tom Stevens, your resident psychotherapist, here to break down lyrics to some awesome music. And today, I'm not sure it's music. It's actually somebody we've never featured here before. His name is Bo Burnham. Everybody's been asking about him, so we are going to dive in and see. And you know what? There's nothing like reacting to somebody we've never reacted to before. I decided to sport all of my reaction therapy gear, from the hat to the shirt. You can find that too. Check the links in the description of this video for our Patreon page, for the merch we have, for the Discord server we have, and for any resources you want for mental health. But for now, let's just get into this, because you know our mission is to spread mental health awareness to the world through music and lyric. And this sounds like it's going to be good. This one is called Bo Burnham, Welcome to the Internet. So without further ado, let's do it.
Welcome to the internet. Have a look around. Anything that brain of yours can think of can be found. We've got mountains of content, some better, some worse.
This is like, reminds me of the comedian Tim Hawkins that I love, where he's got this song tied to lyrics about life that are just life lessons. And of course, this one's about the internet. And I have a feeling he's going to describe everything about the internet here. But the way he presents it, I mean, he is so official up there, hitting his keyboard, and the backdrop, everything. This looks really cool.
Of can be found. We've got mountains of content, some better, some worse. If none of it's of interest to you, you'd be the first.
Yep.
Welcome to the internet. Come and take a seat. Would you like to see the news or any famous women's feet? There's no need to panic. This isn't a test. Just nod or shake your head and we'll do the rest.
That is the truth. He is describing to perfection what the internet has done to take over our lives. It's become everything to all people, most people, and it rules us at times, right? And it's woven in a way to where we can give you anything you want. And in fact, I feel like many times they give us what they want us to have and steer us through the current, because there's so much out there, and there used to not be that way. As a guy who grew up without the internet, without technology at all, back in the 70s and 80s, 1970s and 80s, I can see a life all the way up into adulthood without any technology. And all of a sudden now, in the last 20 years, it's been an explosion. And the internet just gets bigger and bigger and has more and more content and has more and more steering currents and has more and more takes over what we do every single day.
This isn't a test. Just nod or shake your head and we'll do the rest. Welcome to the internet. What would you prefer? Would you like to fight for civil rights or tweet a racial slur? Be happy, be horny, be bursting with rage. We got a million different ways to engage. Welcome to the internet. Put your cares aside. Here's a tip for straining pasta. Here's a 9-year-old who died.
I remember reading something from somebody in comments about Bo Burnham that he had gone through a lot of anxiety. I think even maybe before COVID, and then when COVID hit, it might have creeped up again. But he's had his own issues with anxiety in the past. You wouldn't know it just watching him perform, because he seems so funny and he seems so entertaining and engaging. But I would love to see more of his story to know, because I think he's got a lot more than this out there, and y'all will have to let me know what's the good stuff he's got. So far, this is leading into welcome. I'm going to tell you exactly what's out there, which you already know about, but I'm going to describe how ludicrous all this sounds, that we just let this take over our lives.
Your cares aside, here's a tip for straining pasta. Here's a 9-year-old who died. We got movies and
Man, he just goes to everything.
And fantasy sports and a bunch of colored pencil drawings of all the different characters in Harry Potter fucking each other. Welcome to the internet. Hold on to your socks, cause a random guy just kindly sent you photos of his cock. They are grainy and off-putting. He just sent you more. Don't act surprised, you know you like it, you whore.
Oh my goodness gracious, Bo. This is going deep. And do you hear how it's going faster? It's like he's speeding things up, like life is sped up with the internet, with technology, with social media, all of a sudden it ramps us up. And do you know, I mean, I say it all the time. People go onto social media for a high to feel better, and they come off of social media feeling worse. It happens over and over. Just test yourself. You go in looking for a fix, checking out what's going on in people's lives, what's going on with things you've posted, whether you've gotten likes, whether you've gotten friends and followers and all that stuff, and then you come off depressed. It happens over and over again, unless you're one of the ones that got a fix and a high, and you got the dopamine fix of followers and likes and things like that, and you feel better temporarily because you got to go do another post in order to keep the high going, just like a drug. But people go onto social media to feel better, come off of social media feeling worse. Happens over and over. This is going way too fast, and not Tom approved here.
And of pudding, he just sent you more. Don't act surprised, you know you like it, you whore. See a man beheaded, get offended, see a shrink. Show us pictures of your children, tell us every thought you think. Start a rumor, buy a broomer, send a death threat to a boomer, or DM a girl and groomer, do a zoomer, find a tumor in your. Here's a healthy breakfast option, you should kill your mom. Here's why women never fuck you, here's how you can build a bomb. Which Power Ranger are you? Take this.
He is going crazy with this. There's so much material in what he's saying about the internet and about what, and you listen to this and you think, that's what we're filling our brains with. And that's what young people, and this is what bothers me the most, y'all. Young children learning the internet and social media technology so young, 2 years old and over, where it becomes a part of their life and their brains aren't developed, y'all. Please remember that. Until your teenage years or later is your brain not fully developed. And so if that's the case, then we give children the internet, social media technology, they'll take it. Just like if you put a 5-year-old in behind the wheel of a car to drive, they'll drive it. They won't know what they're doing. And also show a 10-year-old an R-rated movie, they'll watch it. It'll fill themselves up. They won't be able to understand what it means, but they'll act it out. And that's what happens with young children. It's too much, too soon, too fast. And remember, I've talked about the nervous system before. When we get on social media and you swipe and you swipe and you change and you fix and you just get the instant impulsive gratification of looking at things, we get used to that and we speed it up and our nervous system gets sped up, and all of a sudden inside our body, everything is just going so fast. And that's why we come down off of a high into a depression, is because regular life, when you put your phone away or your computer away, it doesn't run at that pace. And so we have to slow down and relate to people. And that's what turns people off. And it makes them so socially misfit many times.
Here's why women never fuck you, here's how you can build a bomb. Which Power Ranger are you? Take this quirky quiz. Obama sent the immigrants to vaccinate your kids. Could I interest you in everything, all of the time? A little bit of everything, all of the time. Apathy's a tragedy and boredom is a crime. Anything and everything, all of the time. Could I interest you in everything, all of the time? A little bit of everything, all of the time.
The story of the internet, right? A little bit of everything, all of the time. When I grew up, stores closed at a certain time. Sundays, stores were closed. We had different boundaries. Now it's everything all the time. It's always on. And remember, when you're always on, when you're always plugged in, when you always have a device going, especially when you go to bed with that, your nervous system inside is amped up and it will not settle down. We have to get away from it.
In everything, all of the time. A little bit of everything, all of the time. Apathy's a tragedy and boredom is a crime. Anything and everything, all of the time.
Okay. Little switch up.
You know, it wasn't always like this. Not very long ago, just before your time, right before the towers fell, circa 99.
Yep.
This was catalogs, travel blogs, a chat room or two.
That is so true. You go back to 99, you just go back a little over 20 years ago, and they're just, maybe it's a few chat rooms and just it's not much social, well, technology-wise. It wasn't any social media, but just not much technology-wise. And you might have had AOL Instant Messenger in the beginning, which was very primitive. But notice how it's going slow now? It was slow back then. And when he was doing the Now, everything was so fast. And he's doing a great job of painting this picture that is not pretty, y'all, about our technology.
Travel blogs, a chat room or two. We set our sights and spent our nights waiting for you, insatiable you. Mommy let you use her iPad. You were barely 2, and it did all the things we designed it to do.
Oh, that scares me so much. I really believe that. Designed to do. This whole technology thing is designed to do something, and it's designed to draw you in. It's designed to get you used to it. It's designed to follow their path. And a lot of times it's not us finding what we want to look at. It's them putting in front of us what they want us to look at. And it can be dangerous, especially for young children. When you put them at such a young age in front of this, they just keep looking and looking. And by the way, children are not only going to get fixated on it, and they are going to get potentially addicted to it and drawn to it, needing it, but they're also going to see things that they don't need to be seeing at too young of an age. And what's seen cannot be unseen. That's what is so scary here than the old days of seeing a VHS tape of some kind of cartoon or something. Now it's just open for whatever pops in there. And the way he said, we've just spent our days pining or waiting for you, just sitting here when we had the first days of Messenger, the first days of a blog. Oh, what it would be like if it just got bigger and bigger and stronger. I remember about 25 years ago having a client in my office who worked for a major technology kind of firm. And he was talking to me about, he'd worked all over the world, and he was talking to me about this thing that it's not really well known right now, but it's kind of the next thing that's coming up, and nobody really understands it, but it's actually going to be the way that changes and revolutionizes the world when it comes to the way we communicate. And it's this thing that's called broadband. I remember him saying that very specifically in my office. I'm like asking about what he did and his job, and he's like, it's hard to explain, but it's basically just this channel of how we can communicate all over the world very quickly. And it's technology that's way ahead of its time, and it's coming, and it's going to change everything. And I remember him talking about broadband, and I'm like, wow, how quickly that did happen. You know, when that guy went from something primitive into something that's just futuristic. So we waited for it. We wanted it. We asked for it, and be careful what you ask for, right? Because then it's here.
Now look at you. Oh. Look at you. You. Unstoppable, watchable. Your time is now. Your insides out. Honey, how you grew. And if we stick together, who knows what we'll do. It was always the plan to put the world in your hand.
Did y'all hear that? It was always the plan to put the world in your hands. Like, that was the plan. And we waited for it. And it's like, oh, it's like a baby that's grown into a child, then into an adolescent, into a teenager, into an adult. And we've just waited for you to grow. And now we fit so well together because you are insatiable and unstoppable. There's not enough of you I can get, and there's no way I can stop you now. It's just too big. It's gone too far. And here we are, where it's just out of control.
To put the world in your hand. Could I interest you in everything all of the time? A bit of everything all of the time. Apathy's a tragedy and boredom is a crime. Anything.
Apathy and boredom. Those aren't allowed. We've got to get you hooked up, in tune, and triggering away with the keypads, with the phones, with the computers, all that stuff. Can I interest you in everything all of the time? the truth of our society today. It's right at our fingertips. And that's what's so sad in a way. It's a double-edged sword, right? Because even reaction therapy here, doing these videos, I'm able to talk about all the stuff I do with clients in my office. I can only see a limited number of them every week. But here, I can touch base with millions of people and talk about the same information that might help somebody that never would have gotten help in the past for anything that's going on in their life. So that's the good of it, and the bad of it is, but we stay hooked on it in so many unhealthy ways. There's healthy, there's unhealthy.
And everything, all of the time. Could I interest you in everything, all of the time? A little bit of everything, all of the time. Apathy's a tragedy and boredom is a crime. Anything and everything and anything and everything and anything and everything and all of the time.
Bo Burnham, welcome to the internet. Our first opportunity to see him, and it was a banger. I loved it. I want to see more of what he has, because this goes above and beyond even the music that we do. That we're going to have to change the mission statement from spreading mental health awareness to the world through music and lyrics. Well, that was music and lyrics, same thing. But we could branch out a little bit and move some Bo Burnham into the house. That would be great. Remember, this isn't real therapy, just Tom break it down lyrics. If you want professional help, go seek some of the links in our bio. There are resources there. Maybe some of those can help you. You deserve the help. And check out the links to our Patreon, to our merch, to our Discord. It's all in there too, whenever you get a chance. But I appreciate you being here. Nick and I are thankful for you watching this and recommending Bo Burnham to us. I can't wait for the next one, and I can't wait to see you on the next Reaction Therapy.